Okay guys, so now we're all set up. We're running Kali Linux in a VMware Player virtual machine, and we've got the USB device plugged in, and we're ready to go. Okay. So what we first need to do is, you can see here I've got my network interfaces open with the ifconfig command, and this shows you my Ethernet network interface card, as well as my Wi-Fi network interface card. So what we need to do now is we need to use WLAN 0, which is just the Linux way of representing that network interface. So yours may be WLAN 1, WLAN 2, but WLAN always represents the wireless network card that's inside the device. Okay. So what we need to do now is we need to set WLAN 0 into monitor mode. So monitor mode lets it receive all packets flying around. Okay. So we issue the command amon-ng start, and we're going to start it on WLAN 0. Okay. And a few things will happen. Okay, and here you can see now monitor mode is enabled on Mon 0. So what we've effectively done is create a Mon 0 interface. Okay, so now what we can do one of two things. What I recommend is we need to make sure that the Wi-Fi adapter that you've got plugged in is working and packet injection is enabled. So to test if packet injection is enabled, we issue the command air replay -ng --test, and whenever we're using the aircrack suite, we always make sure we use the interface, and we're going to use the Mon 0 interface. Okay. Oh wow, so we found 6 access points. This is just around my house. Okay, so it tells you what channel they're on, what the MAC address is, and the ESSID. And generally speaking, the numbers here represent how many packets have been sent and how many packets have been replied to. So this number gives you an indication of the strength of the network. Okay. And for our purposes for this example, this network here is my network, and this is what this is the network we're going to be attacking. Okay. Okay. So now what we need to do is start listening to some packets. So we issue the command aerodump-ng Mon 0. Okay, now this will listen on all channels and find all the available wireless networks within range. Okay. Let it have a bit of a think, and it will enumerate the number of networks available. So up the top is the networks, and down the bottom are the associated devices. So the station is the MAC address of the wireless card within a device, and the probe means that device, even though it's not associated with any BSSID, it's looking for this network. Okay. So we press Control C to end that process. So now what we want to do, actually I just need to clean something up. Oh no, it's fine. Good. Okay. So now we're going to enter the command. We want to specifically listen in on one network. So what we're going to do is we're going to issue the command aerodump-ng -w, and this is the device. This is the directory that we're going to write to, and we're going to call it test. Okay, and we're going to tell the card to only listen to the BSSID that corresponds to our test network, which is this one. Copy that. Okay. And remember, on this interface, and another command to add is -c channel, and we can see here that it's channel 11. So we'll add channel 11. Okay. Let it have a bit of a think. And you can see here now it's receiving these beacons and this data. Okay. Now what you need to do is you need to keep listening until a device pops up down here. There we go. Okay. Now this device, this is my device. Okay. I know what this device is. So what we need to do now is keep listening, and AeroDump will keep writing all of the information that it finds to that document called test. Okay. So now open a new terminal, and now we're going to issue the command airreplay-ng --deauth. We want to issue a deauthentication request. We only want to send it one time. Okay. One time should be enough. Okay. And then we need to specify which BSS ID we're going to use, which is this one, and we're going to issue it on 10. Okay, now what we're looking for is up here we want a WPA handshake. Okay, so let's issue the command. Give it a little while. Nothing. Okay, we'll try again. Issue another one. Ah, there it is. Okay, good. So now we have the WPA hash, and now we can use a program that uses a lot of processing power and compares this hash that we now know to a word list of thousands or hundreds of thousands of words, and we'll try all these words in succession, and hopefully we'll find the password. Okay, so we can stop that now, and we'll come back to cracking the hash in just a moment. Okay guys, now we've obtained the hash from our WPA2 Wi-Fi network, and now what we need to do is compare the hash to a word list and use our processor to basically guess the passwords from the word list, and if the password is in our word list or word lists, then it will display the pre-shared key to the Wi-Fi network for us. Okay, so let's get started. So these are the two word lists I'm going to be using. You can use multiple word lists. There are if you use multiple word lists, however, you're running the risk of having double ups, and it's possible that if there are double ups, you'll increase the time it takes to crack your password. Okay, so these are the two word lists we're using. We can see here we've got the hash saved as test-01.cap. That's where our hash is saved from the previous video. So let's get started. Now it's worth mentioning that you don't need to be within range of the Wi-Fi network to execute these commands. So theoretically what you can do is, with a laptop, you could drive around, find WPA, WPA2 security enabled Wi-Fi networks, and use the techniques from the previous video in order to obtain the hash, and when you can return back to your home and crack the hash at your own leisure, and that way you don't need to leave a computer lying around cracking the hash and getting the password for you. So really time becomes less of a factor in terms of cracking this password, and it's really easy. So we issue the command aircrack-ng-w to tell it which word list we want to use. We want to use this word list and this word list, and then we just enter the location of the capture file that has the hash that we captured in it. Okay, and here we go. Now as you can see, the AirCrack suite is now working its way through all of those passwords, and when it finds the password in the lists, it will come up. So this could take a long time. Depending on the complexity of the password, it can take maybe 4 to 10 hours, or if you don't have the password in the list, then obviously AirCrack Suite will give you an error and say it was not able to find the password. So I'm going to pause the video here, and we'll come back once it's cracked the password. Okay guys, so what I've done is I actually changed word lists over, which ended up being a good thing because I reduced my cracking time to 6 seconds, which is this is the time here. Now it's pretty unusual to have a 6-second crack time. Like I said before, you'd usually be expecting 4 to 10 hours or even longer, depending on the complexity of the password. So you can see I cracked it at roughly 5,800 keys per second, and in 6 seconds I tested 37,300 keys. And this is the key here, honeysuckle. Now it's worth noting that had this password had some numbers and symbols in it, I probably never would have been able to crack the password. And what I'm trying to illustrate with this video is that plain text passwords like this one are not secure. They're not a way to secure your WPA, WPA2 wireless network from outside intruders. And intruders into your wireless network are more than giving them free internet. With the information, with being able to access your wireless network, they're able to get significant amounts of information from you, from minor things like being able to steal your Facebook password and your Twitter password, to very significant things like stealing your Gmail password, as well as your internet banking password, which can have very serious ramifications for your personal life and very difficult to sort out. So what I'm trying to illustrate again is that that you need to be using a combination of letters, numbers and symbols in your WPA, WPA2 passwords. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you've learned something, and in the coming videos I'm going to be presenting how to crack Wi-Fi protected setup WPA passwords using Riva, which is a guaranteed method. It always works, doesn't rely on dictionary hacking or anything like that, and it uses an exploit called Wi-Fi protected setup. The other videos I'm going to be making are videos on domain name service spoofing and ARP poisoning in order to obtain sensitive information like banking passwords. And thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Bye.